What's going on, guys? It's Austin. In this video, I'm going to show you what it looks like to have rules in trading and what it looks like to not have rules, because it's two very different pictures. So let's take a look at what that looks like. On the left, you can see my P&L today in my own personal account. Traded terribly. Basically gambled on most of my trades. Most of my big trades were gambles and emotionally driven. So again, this is just me being completely transparent with you guys, because the thing is, I know every time I trade, every day, it all has to be shown, because that's the whole thing with this channel, is just complete transparency. Again, I'm not trying to be a big expert about trading or anything. I do have quite a bit of experience trading, but I still have these struggles where I fall into emotional trading and using too big size. The Thinkorswim account really is a predicament, because I don't feel good about trading micros in this account. The micros are a tenth of the size of one of these mini contracts, but I really can't justify trading the micros because their commissions aren't any better than if you just trade a mini. So you get way more bang for your buck if you just trade one of these. So inevitably I just trade one of these. And so my first trade of the day in my own personal account, I took as an initial sell off of 3,900. And then as we were kind of gearing up here, I liked this setup on the 1 minute. I liked this structure as a bullish structure. I wanted a retest of that 3,900, and that was where I was going to get out. But of course, I got chopped out. I set my stop, I don't remember exact. I think this was my stop at like 89.25. So I had my stop like right there. It was just going to be a small hit, right? So managing downside, and then of course I got stopped out, and then it ripped right up to my target where I wanted it. And so right, that frustration of getting stopped out, but then having it go where you wanted it to, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of where if you don't have rules, you're gonna get screwed. Or even if you have rules but you just don't stick to them, then you get screwed again. So then it just gets worse from there. You got a little area here of congestion, a little bit of support here coming in, bouncing there. As we start to curl up, I'm getting long here for that move up into the high 90s. Bam, again. So that's twice where I just get slam back down. I'm looking at a 1 minute chart here. And then as we start to break down under that VWAP, as we start to break below the support, I'm getting short on that move, looking for that move down to 80 or so. Just down to 80. I mean, again, this is FOMC day, so later on everything gets, very volatile. Anyway, looking for that move down to 80. Didn't get it. Rips back up. And this one I'm too stubborn to get out of until we move above this pivot, 96.50. I'm out. And then I flip short as we come into resistance again at 3,900. I get short. I'm up on this trade like almost 10 points. I'm looking for 80 again. Don't get it. We bounce here in the same area. Should have known. I was actually away from my desk and I had my OC order set up. So that one I got out break even on ahead of FOMC. And then again, I can tell you, all those prior trades you saw, pretty much, except for the first one, I would not have taken if I hadn't been red on the day, right? So after that first initial red, then compounding that, that's the reason that I'm taking these trades, is because I'm red on the day. Would I be getting long here, 10 minutes after FOMC decision, at 209? Would I be getting long here at 58? No, hell no. Absolutely not. This, I remember thinking that we had cranked lower to 32 and then reclaimed 50, and so I was getting long on that reclaim of 50. I thought that this looked pretty good for a false breakdown under 50, so I was getting long there. I liked it, but it did not work. It came down 38 again, and I got out at the low 37, and I just, there's really no words for it. From there, we ripped up through the highs up to 20, and anyway, I mean, it is what it is. I'm down 1,900. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and really talk about it that much, because, this is what it looks like to, revenge trade. And Fortunately after that, seeing this rip up into where I would have been up, and there's no way I would have held it that long or that far, whatever. I probably would have been selling here, but I wish I had put my stop under the low and just, I would have gotten back to break even, and today would look very different. So, these things are just the matter of, big swings in your P&L are just a function of really quick executions, really quick decisions, really quick, I'll just take a position here, I'll just take a position there. And so if you're not careful, that's what can happen. So anyway, this is what it looks like when you don't have rules, and when you just trade, without any strategy, without really, the only reason that I'm taking these trades in the first place is because I'm red, really. There's not too much behind these trades, right? If I were really, really, really picky about entries and exits, these wouldn't be trades that I'd be taking at all. And so now let's go and look what happened in my TCP account, where in this account I have rules that aren't even set by me that I have to follow, or else I lose the account. And so you can see what I'm doing in this account. Did I lose in this account? Yes, I lost $200 in this account today. I took 2 trades, right? My strategy says I can take up to 2 trades, and unless they're both green, I have to stop trading. So I have like a 2 trades max rule that clearly I didn't follow in my personal account, but I followed in this account because this is where it matters. Even though this is simulated money, and in my real account, I just lost $1,900 of real money. In this account, I'm actually taking the better trades. Why? Because I have rules. There are rules in place in this account that I can't break, and if I do, I'll lose the account. And that's not the case over in my personal account. So that's how important rules are. And so you can see in this account, I got short here. I thought I was getting short in a really, really good spot. I put my stop above this blue line. This blue line shows you the high from this little pivot here, 3903, 3904. The high from right here, there's a little high right there, 3903, 3904. So I really liked kind of shorting the upper end of this congestion and then putting my stop above that line. So I literally put my stop above that line. You can see I got ticked out. And so yeah, there's an element of frustration there. But again, the rules being in place allow me to curb that frustration and remind myself that I literally have no choice but to wait for the next good setup. And so we came down instantly, slammed back down. I don't think I would have been taking even if I didn't get stopped out here, there wouldn't have been, with my strategies here, there wouldn't have been any profit taking there because that's just not enough. But then as we came back up to the blue line, I got short again, anticipating that rejection, that move down. And then at that point I did have to leave and go to my classes, but I felt okay because I liked the entry I was taking. I thought the odds were in my favor. I liked where I was getting short, and I had the strategy, so the ATM strategy, trade management strategy, where I put my stop even tighter. So I knew it was going to be a very small loss if I did lose, but I was really just playing the rejection here of 94.95, which is where we've rejected in the past, and was looking for that move down to, down to 80. That didn't happen. I got stopped out again, and then FOMC came out, and we got this pump up to, on this chart it shows we wicked up to 1150. That's interesting because on TOS it does not show that, so that's a little confusing. That's weird. But here it shows that at 2 o'clock we wicked up to 1150. On TOS I'm not seeing that, so I don't know what's going on there. But if that's the case, then I would have gotten stopped out anyway. But anyway, the point is, in this account I traded according to my plan. I lost money today, but I feel way better about this tick out exit. That feels way better than what I did in here today. And this was like the Wild West. There were no rules here, no thinking going on really. And I mean, just the fact that I traded 10 minutes after the FOMC decision came out from my laptop, it just, clearly I'm just revenging, trying to make it back, and of course making the problem a lot worse. So the question is, what am I going to do to stop that from happening in the future? So here's what I want to do. If you're still watching this video right now, what I want to do is open it up, and I'm going to say this, and so I'm kind of hoping that maybe not many people are watching this, but I'm going to say this. Top comment, put in the comments something embarrassing for me to do or something that would hurt me that I have to do, that I would not want to do. And whatever the top comment is, if I break what I'm about to say, I'm articulating this terribly, then I have to do what the top comment says. So here's what I'm going to say. From now on, going forward, I'm trading in the TCP account. Really, I should just be trading in this account, probably. But I think what I'm going to do is the really good setups, I'm going to have the option of taking in my personal account. But what it's going to be is I'm going to set up a bracket order in my personal account that I'll just take every single time. And it's going to be a 1-for-1, 10-point stop loss, 10-point profit. And all I want to do is in the TCP account, I'm mainly going to be trading in here, again, on stream, off stream, trading in here. This is my main focus, taking those good entries, right? Playing by the rules, even on these days where I lose, just trying to find good probability entries. And if I find one that I think is especially good, because I do find some that are better than others, if I'm taking larger size, that's a good indicator that that's a high confidence trade. So I really want to be just picking entries that are high probability, right? So in those spots where I'm taking high probability setups, I want to take one trade per day in TOS. I have the option of taking it in my personal account, and it'll just be a 1-for-1 risk reward, 10-point stop, 10-point profit in the TOS. And and I can only do that if I'm also taking it in Trader Career Path. If I've taken the trade in Trader Career Path, then I know it's I know it's at least a decent entry, high probability setup, because I'm doing it in an environment where I have rules in place. So if I'm doing it in an environment where I have rules in place and I have the stop set up and the take profits, everything already set up, all of that's good. Then I can take the same exact trade in TOS with the 1-to-1 bracket order set up, where it's either a winner or a loser. If I'm taking high probability entries where I really like my entry, then, and that's what I'm trying to do in TCP, then if I take that in TOS, I should have over 50% win rate, and over time I should eventually make money in my personal account. It should be good. So anyway, that's what I want to try starting today. So today is the 21st. So 9/22/22. That's going to be the first day that I'm doing this. I'm writing this down, and this isn't something that I was thinking about earlier. I'm not just like coming up with this on the spot. But I want to do that. Oh gosh, what I'm about to say is going to be so hard to follow, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it. Once I've said it, it's said. It has to be done. And you guys are so important. That's the whole point of this YouTube, man, is that I need accountability. Okay, so that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, is because if I make it public, then I'll actually do it. I have to do it. If I have the accountability of making it public, right, I can't fail. I can't fail in terms of breaking these rules. So anyway, that's what I have to do. I can only trade, again, here it is. I can only trade in my personal account, TOS, futures. I'm talking about futures now. I can only trade futures. I can take a full-size contract, but it has to be a trade that I'm taking in the TCP account. It has to. That way I know I'm getting a good entry, and it has to have the bracket order. And of course, I share all the trades I take, TCP, personal account, all of that I share with you guys. If not on YouTube and in recaps, I post everything in the Discord. So for instance, earlier, when I took those losses, those trades, I was keeping everyone updated in the Discord of what I'm doing. Okay, so here's where you guys come in. You guys, I want you to post a comment of an idea of something that I have to do if I take a trade in my personal account that I did not take into TCP, if I break the quote-unquote rules that I just outlined. Top comment, I'm doing whatever the top comment says. It can't be something like, I'm not going to I'm not going to do something bad. You know what I mean? Something lighthearted, something fun, but something that I would not like. It has to be something that I actually actively want to avoid. So keep that in mind. But whatever it is, I'll do it, and hopefully we can make something fun out of it. But it's really just a way to keep me in check, because this has to stop. Pretty much at every turn, right? I started trading futures. I was trading too big size, which made me way too emotional. took huge losses, was gambling, revenge trading, all that nonsense. Switched to Tradeovate, sized down for a while. That really helped me, and I was doing that, and it really helped. And then I was able to set risk parameters in Tradeovate. I was able to set a max loss. All of that was really, really helping me until one day I hit max loss, and I thought, I'm just going to go into the risk parameters and change that. I'm going to make the max loss a little bit, so I can trade a little bit more. So then I did that. And then I'm hit max loss again, and I thought, let's just get rid of the max loss. I'm not satisfied, want to take another trade. Okay, jump into another trade, lose again. Okay, let me just take bigger size here so I can get back. Okay, take bigger size, another loss. All right, I'll just take bigger size, and then the account's blown up. That's basically how it happened. So what do you do when you put rules in place and you can't follow them? What do you do when you put risk parameters in place and then you just change them? What do you do? How do you eventually come to terms with the fact that you're too stubborn to follow any rules? Here's an example in TCP where I feel like I'm able to follow rules. But the key difference with TCP is I have no ability to change these rules even if I wanted to. I have to follow them because that's the way they are and they don't change. I can't go into the settings anywhere and make it so that I can, get rid of the daily let max loss. I have no choice. So I have to trade a certain way. That intrinsically affects my trading. Versus every other account I've ever traded in, at the end of the day, I can say whatever rules I want. I can make the risk parameters whatever I want. But at the end of the day, I can just go in there and change them. I can just decide to not follow the rules. I can take complete control and do whatever I want. And that's been my downfall. So I'm really grateful for the TCP because I feel like it's exactly what I need. And so what I'm trying to do is link my personal account, TOS, to the TCP, link it together so that I can't deviate and I can't do whatever I want. So from now on, that's what I'm doing. I'm trading in my personal account still, yes, but it will every single time be a 1-for-1 risk reward, which I think is good because I like to give my trades space to breathe, but I also have had a problem taking profit and stuff like that. I will open the door and allow myself to move it from a 1-to-1. So for example, if I take a trade, I would like the opportunity to tighten the stop. So like lose less than 10 points. If I think that the stop belongs lower and there's no reason for it to be higher, I would like to lower it. Or if I think that the target belongs a little bit, I'm talking about shorting. I have shorting in my head for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm looking at this. But like, I would like the option to move the stop around and also move the target out if I think that the target belongs a little bit out. But in any case, I will never lose more than 10 points on a trade. I can't move the stop away. Anyway, so I've blabbered about this too much. At the end of the day, this is not the biggest single day loss I've taken. Believe it or not, on an FOMC day like this, after I went back and after that last trade where I traded FOMC and got hammered, after that, I very well could have hopped into another trade and I could have gone down 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, 5,000. I could have, but I didn't. So it's not like today is the worst day ever, but yeah, I'm pretty upset with myself. But that being said, in the TCP, I completely followed my rules. I'm compared to my trading in my TOS, I'm really quite happy with the way I traded in this account today. Yeah, I would have been getting short here at 3,900 pretty much all day long, and yeah, I took the short and it didn't work. All right, that's fine. I traded according to my plan in this one, and anyway, so I'll just be moving on to trade tomorrow, but I'm excited to change the way I'm trading in my personal account and stop this gambling nonsense, because I have that bit in my brain that's a degenerate gambler and really just likes the thrill of being in a big position, the potential to make money, the opportunity, right? I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm 22, and just not, my brain's not fully developed. I don't know what it is. I could speculate as to why and come up with excuses all day long, but all I know is that I have an intrinsic problem with being too stubborn in this field. And so what I'm trying to do is, every time something like this happens, I'm trying to tighten the noose around my neck, and just I'm trying to clamp down on that aspect of it, and shut those doors. You know what I mean? The emotion is there. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing from now on. So you guys got to keep me accountable. Well, you guys don't have to do anything, but anyway, I thought it'd be fun if you guys, put something in the comments. Anyway, if you want to do TCP, I really recommend it. It's helping me a lot. So if you guys are interested to learn more about that, it's 40% off this month, so that's ending soon. And yeah, link to that is in the description. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new. I hope you guys appreciate the honesty, the transparency. It's not easy for me to come on here and, after so many struggles, come on here and say I had a bad day again. You know what I mean? So in some sense, I've had worse days, and so I can look at it from that perspective. But yeah, I'm not happy with myself today. But if I just forget about what I did in the personal account, TCP was fine. So we'll move on. I'll be live tomorrow, Thursday morning. So I'm streaming live tomorrow, and hope to see you guys there. And yeah, all right, bit of a longer video. Apologies for that, but I appreciate you guys listening. Leave comments of what I should do, how to keep myself accountable. If I don't follow this, what do I do? What do I have to do? Some incentive, some disincentive, some... not going to come up with that word right now. All right, that's it from me, guys. I appreciate all of you. Goodbye.